him talking about he was having fuel issues out of the right tank. We will confirm that and find out exactly what the issues were. In about 10 days, I will be releasing a preliminary report of just the factual information, kind of what we're going over today. And then within 16 to 24 months after the entire investigation is over with, we will be putting out the final factual report, and that can be found on the NTSB website. That's about all the factual information we know as of right now. Because they were out of state, it's a little harder to get that information as it flows in. But I will open it up for questions if you guys have any at this time.
There was a transmission to the tower about being the right fuel, the right engine not getting fuel. Anything can you say about that? What that might do to a plane if it was having that kind of issue?
Well, it could, depending on what the issue was. Was it a low fuel problem, or was it a fuel starvation problem, or was it a fuel contamination problem? We're going to be looking at all that. It's a little bit more difficult because it was in the water, but we still will break open that entire fuel system and look at it and find out, exactly what he was talking about. Yes.
Can you discuss the flight path for Maitland? This is the second time this month we've had a plane, I guess you could say, crash in Maitland.
Yes.
The flight path from OEA kind of a weird area? Or?
No, it's really not. Of course, the one that happened that you're talking about that landed on the highway, he was on his way down, and unfortunately, he just flew too long. He ran out of fuel. This one was actually departing. He stopped, and I don't know exactly. We got actually, after I leave here, I'm going to go over to the airport and find out what he was doing, and find out if he purchased fuel, if he didn't purchase fuel, what exactly the stop was for. But it was a short flight that he was going to make from the executive airport over to New Smyrna, and it is controlled airspace in this area, so you have to talk to air traffic control if you're taking off and landing in the Orlando vicinity. So he was in communication with air traffic control. It's nothing special. I mean, it's take off. They headed him due north, and then they made him do a small right turn direct over to New Smyrna. So very simple, basic flight.
Do we know why he was? I mean, he came down from Clemson yesterday morning and landed at OEA.
Yes.
Was going to go. Why he was going to New Smyrna?
I believe he owns an airplane over there, and I think he was taking some aircraft parts over to him, from what I've heard so far. I'm going to validate that, but there are aircraft parts on board this airplane for that airplane, so we believe it's just delivering aircraft parts.
To my untrained eye, that looks like it's in pretty good shape. So how is your investigation? Does that help? Do you feel confident you'll be able to figure this out?
Yes, I do. It is in good shape. And I don't know, because the nose gear is missing, you probably have seen that. But I do believe that the nose gear was probably ripped off during the recovery efforts and not during the impact. But I'm not positive about that, because I have to look at the frame once we open up the parts. But some of the damage was done just because of the recovery and the way that they brought it on shore. Yes. So yes. Yes, they were friends from what we know.
Does it look like the pilot?
They landed here in is there something to say that they avoided, crashing into homes or on a road that could have caused a lot more death?
Yes, it absolutely could have, and I hope that's it. I think, and I'm a pilot myself, I think every pilot, his first is I've got an emergency, and second is I want to make sure myself and my passengers are safe. And if the water is a better place to land than on top of the house, you're going to pick the water. And I hope that was the case. We do have several good witnesses that I have not spoken to yet, but that have given me their name and numbers. I'm going to do that later on this afternoon. That said they were coming over the trees, and they were not. They're stating that they were not out of control. So to me, they were looking for a place to put this airplane down. And what that means is I hope that's what the case was. Yes.
You mentioned the fuel issue. Have you been able to gather anything else from those tapes that indicated any other issues?
I haven't heard the tapes yet. No, I'm going to be doing that. I have to do all the perishable information on site right away, and then over the next weeks or so, as that information comes in, not only the tapes from here, but I'm going to see if there's anything up in South Carolina as well.
You said 3 days, 10 days. What is, for people that are watching at home, how long does it take an investigation like this to find some behavior?
Well, it depends on the event. If it's dealing with the aircraft, and sometimes we have to send aircraft parts into either a metallurgy and have metal looked at, or we need to send some flight controls avionics in and have them downloaded. That takes a couple of months. So Information that we have to wait on outside parties to get us that information. As it is for the aircraft and the engine and the systems, I will handle that over the next 3 days.
Is there anything obviously mechanically wrong that you can tell off of that?
No, not right here. No, it doesn't. Nothing mechanically wrong. We can see now, but we haven't opened anything up yet either.
When you say fuel issue in layman's terms, did he run out of gas? What does it?
I don't know. Only that's what you know. You heard the same tape I did.
Right.
Only thing he said is, "I'm not getting fuel out of my right tank." Does that mean he ran out of fuel? Does that mean there was a problem getting the fuel out? We don't know. We're going to look at that system over the next couple of days.
So
Yes.
again, talking about that time frame, it takes like 16 to 24 months to get
The factual out, yes.
Is it just because, like you said, you're waiting for things to be tested out?
Yes.
What goes into that?
Not only that, but we also, the medical examiner. Sometimes it takes a year just to get the information out of the medical examiner. So, we get all the information from the medical examiner, the toxicology, and all that kind of stuff as well. And that does take quite a while. Yes.
Do you know how many hours he had?
I do not. All that information the FAA is gathering will be sending it to me over the next couple of days.
How sad for you is to hear what happened? 2 people dead. How sad is that for you?
That's my job. I mean, the only thing I do is aircraft accidents, and it's always sad. It's always tough to hear because, when you think about it, it's like, man, what could he have done to prevent that? And, and that's what we look at. And, I take onus in the fact that I can figure out what went wrong, and if I can share that with other pilots and prevent it from happening again is what the benefit of it is.
And there were 2 tanks that were left in the right tank, I'm assuming?
Yes. And there's an auxiliary tank on this aircraft as well in the back. So, all right, so I'm going to take off, and it's supposed to rain here in a couple more hours. I want to make sure I get it out of here. One more question? No? Okay, great. I appreciate it.
Going to be removed?
Hopefully within just a couple of hours. Try to get out here before the rain hits.
Just talk real quick about that process. What do you need to do to get it out?
Well, what we're going to do right now is as you can tell, we're disassembling it. We're going to take the wings off of it. We may take the landing gear. It depends on how it sits on the trailer. We'll secure it to the trailer and then just ride up the highway up to the salvage facility. Okay? Thanks, guys.
So